hour per live, and I didn't realize I've been on that long. I forgot to set my timer. So, welcome back. Welcome back. All right. Any of you, I'm waiting for Jamaki to join back. She had her hand raised for a question. And if there's anyone else, I'll do. Um, and do me a favor when you join in. Let me know if I am pronouncing your name correctly. Hi, darling. How are you?
Hi. I wanted an excuse to just be in your presence, and thank you for hosting this.
No
Um,
worries.
and my
Let me know if I am pronouncing your name correctly. Pronounce
yeah,
it for me.
so Juma K, or you can just call
Oh,
me June for short,
Juma
like the
King.
month.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Awesome.
I see some of my friends joining. Amazing. Okay. So, as a coach, and I heard you briefly mention this when I first joined, but there's these two polarities going on. There's one that's, oh yes, now is the time to rest and refill your cup. And then the other part of me is, well, as somebody who mentors other women of color who are stepping into their medicine, now is the perfect time to do so. And on one hand, it's just like you, I feel like yes, I can rest and just be of service to my clients. Then on the other hand, um, it's also time for me to embody my medicine beyond the people who pay me to be of service. And so I'm caught between these polarities of like, am I serving from a place of I need to do something because I have the tools to do so? uh, and also I need to be telling my clients to do the same because now's the opportune time. And then the other piece of like, just chill. Now is the time to rest.
Hmm. So tell me where you said you chose
Hmm.
the words polarity.
Yeah.
And so I want you to explain to me what is the activator, the catalyst for each of those? What is the activator or catalyst for now's the time to just chill and rest? Where's that coming from?
That the world is, and also, okay, here's another thing. As somebody who comes from activist and social justice spaces, I feel like uh, nobody is immune to what is happening, and this is the call to action is to just chill out and rest and do nothing. But that also comes from a place of privilege, because there are some people who are like, I gotta get ready to hustle and maybe enter the online sphere to put my medicine out there. And so I guess that energy comes from the fight or flight, which is what activates a lot of us to come into movement spaces. And then the other is just like dissociation, if I were
Mhm.
to assign uh yeah, what's happening somatically.
Okay. And so here's my next question. Why choose?
Mm.
You chose polarity. It can be it, and that's either or,
Mm-hmm.
and it can also be this and, which
Yeah.
simply means you have to renegotiate how you are distributing your time and energy.
Yeah. Yeah, I was like, oh, my podcast is launching in a couple weeks, and I'm like, is that even relevant anymore, or at least right now? If I were to truly come from a place of service and go with the times, then I don't. I just that can wait, and pivot has been the word that's come up a lot in our industry, and so I'm like, okay, how
Yes.
can I?
However, let me throw this in there. There's a distinction between pivot and abandon.
Mm, mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I am seeing a lot of coaches, healers, teachers abandon. If what I've been teaching for 20 years is solid and grounded and transformative and gets results, why am I changing that?
Mm-hmm.
I just said how to thrive, how extraordinary women thrive. I've been teaching that all along. Now I just said how extraordinary women thrive in uncertain times. I'm still teaching the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
My teachings are solid.
Mm-hmm.
The way that I help people heal are solid. I teach that. I help them heal that way when money is flowing and when money is contracting. When the world is, seemingly at whatever the normal was, and when it's going through this new normal. What I teach doesn't change.
Yeah. Yeah, I just had a light bulb moment because the collective is in contraction.
Yes, yes.
What we do as coaches and as healers that's different from let's just say like therapists, one is not better than the other, is that our goal is to bring people to the present while also envisioning what the future can look like.
Absolutely. So it's a distinction between contracting and expanding, right? And this is what I meant earlier when I said, depending on the lens through which you view this time, you will see a contraction, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Or you will see opportunities for expansion. The opportunity for expanding, let's say hypothetically somebody just connected to my Bluetooth speaker. Y'all, if you start hearing some strange music, it's not mine. I forgot to turn my speaker off. Let's say hypothetically somebody is a therapist. Somebody in here is watching, and I knew it. Hold on one second, because there's no telling what y'all will start hearing in the background. So hold on, let me turn my speaker off.
I hope it's a good song.
Thank you. Sorry about that. Yeah, I have young neighbors, and there's no telling what their hip hop groove for the day would be. So, okay. So I was saying, if someone is watching and you're a therapist, yeah, and you meet your clients in person, that's your normal get down. You meet them in person. They come sit on your couch. Well, times have shifted. We're now in pretty much global quarantine. How do you pivot? I'm not saying discard what you've been doing. I'm not saying change what you've been doing at all. I'm saying, how do you pivot and provide your work in a different way? I go online. Yeah.
Yeah.
I host a healing circle for women. Usually we meet in person. I'm about to bring it online.
Oh my gosh. I'm like the things that I've been advocating for so long that like, do we really need to do this in person? And now everybody's flocking to Zoom and learning how to use it. And then the scarcity showed up and I'm like, oh, how am I even relevant anymore when this is becoming a necessary tool? But then the expansion is like, oh, I'm ready. I've been
absolutely
these tools, so I can launch with ease if I wanted to.
Yeah, this is what we've been preparing for. It's just the perspective, the lens through which you see your opportunities. That's it.
Yeah.
So be mindful that
I just needed a week to cry. And I'm like, okay.
And that's okay too. And that's okay too. Like there's nothing that says those of us who hold the space for healing and transformation for others cannot also have I'm a human being. And that's why my coaching clients, when I put together a program, we set out a schedule, but I listen to this more than I listen to the schedule. If I am worn out, I cannot show up and be of full service. And so when I do my welcome gathering, hey, this is what the schedule will be. However, if I am feeling X, Y, or Z, if my private clients are feeling, if you show up to a call and you don't feel like you can be fully present, we'll reschedule. I am not Superwoman. I don't like her. I am a superwoman. I'm not Superwoman. And so right now, I think the other thing that a lot of coaches, healers, leaders, and teachers are feeling is that they've got to put everybody on their back and rescue the world. No. again, back to the very first live stream, and somebody was so gracious to allow herself to be coached through that idea as well. And so that is not what we're here to do either. Yeah? And so all of the work that you've been doing up until this point is absolutely relevant. Your podcast is relevant. All of it is relevant.
Yeah, I feel that. I'm dreaming up another way of being of service, which is the three things that have been keeping me grounded, which is movement, mindfulness, meditation, and morning pages. And I'm very grateful to have these very simple somatic practices. But if I'm somebody who can easily feel misaligned and disrupted, what is it like for somebody who doesn't have these basic tools? And not doing it from a place of, I want to save people, but okay, now that I've had time to process, I'm ready to pour from my overflow, especially if I already have these resources. And I know there's you should be selling your services still, but then I'm kind of I do want to be of service right now. And then when the time is right, I will allow other people to decide if they want to work further. But, yeah.
And that, like I said earlier, that's a conversation I'm going to dive into in the next few days as well. This idea that, this isn't a new idea. There's been something pervasive in the spiritual healing community for millennia that there's something honorable about being in poverty. How do we shift? How do we, in a conscious way, shift systems and structures of economic oppression if we choose to become part of you follow what I'm saying? It just doesn't make sense. It does not make sense. And so what does it look like to circulate money? What I put out circulates back to me. I don't care if it's $1. So here's what I tell people. I do not coach for free. Over the years, I've offered at my choice scholarships. Yeah? I do not coach for free. If you cannot afford to work with me and pay my full prices when I have chosen to do scholarships, what I say is, based on what you can comfortably pay, it might be $10. Why? Because it's a spiritual principle. It's really it's an earth-based principle. You cannot reap a harvest where you have not sown a seed. I cannot go to the garden and expect to pick greens if I didn't plant the seed. Yeah? And so it's the same thing. Yes. It's the same thing.
I've invested so much, but of probably like you and many of us who come from maybe heart service based organizing background. It's so that I could give it back to the people. But then it was a moment I actually started charging for my services where people actually got results. Whereas before I was like, I must be a really crappy coach because nobody's getting results. And when the energetic exchange of money came in, then that's when it shifted on both ends, when I started investing myself.
Well, and that's what I was going to say. Yeah, and so we don't rob others of the opportunity to reap their harvest as well by not charging them, by not allowing them to plant the seed. You follow what I'm saying?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Awesome.
But
Thank you so much
for the shift in perspective. It doesn't have to be either or.
Yes.
And I think that's something that I'm unlearning is how do I not serve from a place of I need to, but more of I choose to because it brings me joy and it's not out of obligation.
Awesome.
And some of my clients are on. Hi, Claudia. Anyways, yay.
No worries. No worries. You are also someone that I would love to. Let's have an offline conversation. Yeah, let's have a chat.
Do that.
Yeah, I'll send you a link and let's chat offline. We can do some stuff together.
I'm looking forward to it. I am dreaming up some stuff so that we can still serve to our people in this moment. So
awesome. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye-bye. Okay, one more. If you want to join me for some live, I call it love seat coaching. I don't like the term hot seat. I'm not interrogating you. Love seat coaching. Feel free to raise your hand, put a hand raise emoji in the chat. The questions today are around how to navigate as a healer, teacher, leader, coach, how to navigate your own experience of the new normal, and how you can continue to be of service to your community without losing yourself. I know we have about a 7-second delay, so if anybody wants to jump in, simply raise your hand. For those of you who do not know who I am, my name is Dr. Frantonia Pollins. I am a master success coach. I work with extraordinary women, entrepreneurs, and leaders all across the world to help them expand their platform, monetize their mission, and maintain their own priority position in their lives. I help them walk through, what I say, I hold their hands and walk them through the dark and scary places of their lives so that they can create a platform and serve the world from an empowered place. So if anybody else wants to raise your hand and ask a question, jump on for some live Love Seat coaching, I am more than happy to answer at least one more question. I know that we have about a 7-second delay. I am mindful of that. This is my second call, so we're going to go going once. Going twice. Okay. A reminder that there is a link in my bio for 2 different options for you and I to do some deeper work together. One of them is a free webinar that I am hosting this coming Thursday, March 26th at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And that webinar is all about how to launch, grow, and maintain your service or mission-based business in uncertain times. Even if you cannot join live, there will be a limited time replay, so make sure that you register and you'll get access to the replay if you cannot join live. The second way that you can work with me, on April 1st, or beginning April 1st, I'm launching a 40-day fear-free challenge so that I can help my community walk through the fear and anxiety that many of you are experiencing right now during this transformational time in history throughout the world. I want to be able to share some of the tools that I use to help navigate my own fears and anxiety when they come up, and to create a community and a safe space for us to all work through that together. So those are the ways that you can reach out and connect with me. Those are ways that you can work with me. Like I said, one of them is a free webinar. The other one has a very lower nominal investment if you choose to join that one. Otherwise, I want to thank you and honor you, each and every one of you, for joining me today. I know and do not take your time for granted, because I know that your time is actually your life. And so I want to thank you for sharing a portion of your life with me today, because you could have been anywhere else on the planet, but you chose to be here. And for that, I love you. I love you. I love you to life, and there ain't nothing you can do about it. Until next time, talk to you later. Bye-bye.